Hi guys. So we're going to go ahead and look at how to write our setting body paragraph. Now this is our first body paragraph, but it only has one piece of evidence, okay? It should be almost an entire page, okay? So let's look at this step by step. Our first half is our topic sentence, okay? In your topic sentence, you need to make sure that you say the setting because that's what you're talking about, what the setting is, the annex, who the author is, what the book is, okay? And then the things that you're going to be looking and analyzing. You're analyzing how the setting impacts the character's actions and how it develops theme. So my example is the setting of the annex in Lois Lowry's novel The Giver impacts characters' actions as well as developing theme that without feeling society becomes less human. Remember, your topic sentence tells the reader what this setting or what this paragraph is going to be about. We know that it's going to talk about the annex, which is a setting, how the setting impacts characters' actions, and how it develops a theme. So now we start with our I, okay? The annex's furniture and decorations are important to the novel to impact the change in a character. In the rising action, as Jonas is walking into a large room of the annex, he notices how things are different from the rest of the community. In the community, the dwellings are all furnished the same because each dwelling has been furnished for the people who live there. It is bland and not much to look at. However, in the annex, the narrator explains to the reader that right there, you've told me what part of the story it's in. It's in the rising action. Using this key language is going to help you get a good grade on this background information. You've also told me what's going on. You told me that Jonas is walking into the larger room of the annex, how he's noticing these different things, how in the community things are already furnished for him. And then you have your speaker and listener, the narrator, and that's the speaker. Then what does the narrator do? They explain their talking verb or talking adjective to the reader. Okay, the reader is the listener, and then you have a flow quote because you're using that. Then you put your quote in. The bed in the alcove at the far end of the room was draped in splendid cloth embroidered over its entire surface with intricate designs, but the most conspicuous difference was the books. You have your quote, then you have your citation, Lowry 94. You have to use the page numbers because this is where it's found in the book. You are not counting paragraphs, but you are counting page numbers. So if I were to go to my book and look at page 94, I'll be like, oh, yep, here it is, the part that they were talking about. Then the next part of what you're going to do, you are going to be focusing on these different questions. Remember, your questions that you want to answer, how does this setting help to change the character? And then how does the setting influence the character's actions and solidify the theme? You should have at least 6 sentences explaining because how does the setting help to change the character? Why? How does the setting influence the character's actions? And how does it solidify the theme? You need to thoroughly explain to your reader how this is done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to again explain how the setting helps to change the character. The cozy furniture is strange to Jonas and could cause him to wonder and ask questions about why the community does not have this. Right there, because of the cozy furniture, Jonas is going to change and question things. As Jonas questions this, he is more inclined to find out the answers and continue to ask the questions. This is not something that he has done before and would not do otherwise unless in the annex, the place that is different than the rest of the community. Right there, you're saying how this setting is changing the character. If Jonas was not in the annex, he would not ask these questions. Then it says this can lead to important dialogue about why the community is bland and nothing is unique. By the giver having these luxuries while the rest of the community has bland furniture represents that he is the only one who is unique. It shows how different he is because he has these human emotions that other citizens do not based on the information that he's allowed to have. Right there, you're telling me how this is going to impact his actions. He's going to change. He's going to do this. He's going to be more aware, okay? Because he will have that same thing. So, since no one else in the community knows about the furniture, they don't know anything about the comfort or comfortable furniture. Without this knowledge, they have less emotions, which helps to prove the fact that without emotions, society becomes less human. You could also add on to this and say that because they don't question things or because they cannot question things, they do not have the ability to truly understand why they are different. And that's what you're going to want to basically put for your setting paragraph. Remember, the biggest thing that you want to look at is how to answer these questions. And my example is almost an entire page, which means that yours should almost be an entire page. If you have questions, make sure that you reach out and ask your teacher.